All right, welcome. I'm Julie Gonzalez, and my assistant is Taylor Witten. Our topic today is about voting in 2020. The result from today will be used to motivate college students to vote in 2020. College students are the least likely to vote, and we want to know how to motivate them to vote in the upcoming election. You were selected to participate today because you are a college student and are eligible to vote. I want to inform you that there are no right or wrong answers, but only differing point of views. We will tape record this focus group during the session. I ask that one person speaks at one time, and that we are on a first name basis. And while you don't have to agree with others, you must listen carefully to the other's view. Other rules for this session include being in an uninterrupted location to participate. For example, we ask that you remain in a quiet room or bedroom that there is no interruption. If someone does walk into the room or you need to leave, please mute yourself and turn off your camera and rejoin as quickly as you can. My role as a moderator will be to guide the discussion and to have you talk to each other. Please feel free to share your view, even if it differs from what others have said. Keep in mind, we're just as interested in negative comments as positive comments, and at times the negative comments are the most helpful. For our focus group team icebreaker to begin with, we will be doing an activity where each member will draw a picture of the way that the 2020 election makes them feel. You can have the access to your paper and your pen next to you, and please draw something that shows how you feel about the 2020 election. I'll give you about 30 seconds.
So draw what you think about the election.
Yes, about this upcoming one. Once everyone has finished, we will go around and everyone will explain what their photo means. Okay, is everyone done?
Yes, I'm done.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go from left to right and ask you what you've drawn, and just to talk about, just describe it a little bit based on the way that y'all are set up on my screen. So I'm going to start with you, Taylor.
Okay. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a it's a frowny and sad face and question marks for eyeballs, and the nose says this isn't fun because this is not fun, and I'm confused and I don't know what to do. I mean, I do know what to do. There's just, yeah, it's not fun.
Thank you. Okay, Rachel?
Okay, so I did a series of sketches because, here, let me turn on my lamp. So I drew a dollar sign because I feel like this election has a lot to do with like money and like everything that's going on with the different campaigns and how much funding has been in certain advertisements. And then I like wrote this because it's very controversial right now, like in both parties. Like it's not fun. I agree with Taylor in the sense that it really does kind of, there's like a lot of words to be said. It's very like polarized in terms of politics. And then Like I think about the like BLM movement and like the civil rights like movement that's going on right now and stuff like that. But then I also think about the election itself being a dumpster fire. So that's what I have to share.
Thank you. All right, Chloe?
Okay, so mine, I drew Trump, and then it says Trump equals bad, and then Biden equals okay-ish. Because I guess like Biden wasn't my first choice as a Democrat, and being a Democrat, I don't like Trump at all, and I think he's a piece of crap. So I'm like, I want anybody else but him at this point. So yeah.
All right, thank you. And Kira, are you able to show us what you drew?
Yeah. Okay, so I drew the poop emoji and it says, "What the hell is going on?" Because I really don't know what the hell is going on. Like everything is like we know what's going on, but it seems like there's so much that's not being said. Like we're being kept, out of the loop with a lot of things, and like we have no choice but to, we didn't really want Biden. He's not, that great either, but we literally had no choice. Like we could have Bernie, but there's that. So yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, so excellent. Next, I'm going to ask you a series of open-ended questions. The first question is, what do you know about, if anything, Rock the Vote?
I know a little bit about it. In the last election, I worked for an apartment complex, and we kind of advertised for them a little bit. Basically, it was just like, this website can help you register to vote, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I just like assumed that like yeah, it was like an organization. Like I've never really heard about it a lot. So but I assumed like yeah, it was an organization that's like advocating for people probably especially our age to like be participants and like vote and register and stuff like that to get more exposure. Yeah.
Great, thank you. My next question is, why do you think it's important to vote?
If you don't vote, you can't complain. Sorry, but
Period.
you,
But also, there's a lot on the line with this election. There's a
yeah.
lot of things that are coming into play, such as like the Supreme Court justice seat that needs to get filled, because that'll basically determine a lot of other legislation and previous legislation that could get overturned. There's just like a lot of very like hot topics and like things that will actually affect us if we like don't vote for like the right party or the party of our choice. Like if you don't enact that kind of like right, then it's honestly like doing more harm than good in this circumstance, since it's like so crucial this year, especially with the two candidates that we have to choose from. So yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with both of those statements.
What would be the biggest issue that you'll vote for?
Abortion, honestly, because I don't think that no matter what you think, everyone should have choice in their own lives. So your beliefs might not be the same as the next person's, and you should have no right to tell anyone how they live their lives. No matter what you think, you can control that in your life. But as far as being able to have control over other people's lives, I think that's not fair. That's just not human. Like, we need to worry about ourselves. And I don't think that's something that should be, I shouldn't be able to choose what another woman can do with her body. Especially not a man.
Amen. My body, my choice.
Yes.
That's probably the one issue that I'm like super big on.
It honestly scares me that the potential for Roe v. Wade like could get overturned if we like have another Republican Supreme Court justice, because like that has so much to do with like the healthcare of anybody that's a part of the LGBTQIA community, and like anybody that would potentially get an abortion or like could get pregnant and stuff, especially like in Texas, you know, it's a very conservative state, and or like we have legislators that are very conservative for our state. I don't necessarily think anymore that like Texas is a red state per se or like conservative, but there's just like a lot of controversy with that if we like were to not, you know, voice our opinion, because otherwise it could be really bad for people of like color or that like, you know, have associate themselves with different sexualities and genders, and let alone like just women in general.
Yeah, and I also kind of feel like that could kind of be grouped in with as far as what do people, or the topic that people care most about when they vote. I feel like you can group that in with healthcare as far as
Exactly.
like, you know, what's the main things that you vote for. As far for me, you know, that I also feel like civil rights as well is a major voting aspect as well.
Yeah, I did not like the last like election debate that happened, especially like, I mean, it's very clear at this point that I'm not an advocate for Trump and stuff like that, but it's also just like more clear that he's not willing to like say some very like, it should be very basic things that he should be advocating for. And like I've been like literally in the protests like downtown in Austin, and it's been like, and we've even lost students that go to our school that are in our same grade from this like right like the civil rights movement, because like we have people that won't listen and are not giving them like justice and stuff like that. So it's kind of ridiculous. It's really sad too.
I totally agree with you on that, especially because me being like a woman of color, um, it kind of blew my mind when watching a debate and he was asked a clear question that should have been yes or no. Yes
Stand
or no.
stand back.
There should have been nothing else said, yes or no. And the fact that he went all the way around it to not have to say anything gave the clear answer of what he stood for, and it just makes me sick.
Agreed.
Agreed. Well, and also like with recent things too, he's very hypocritical. Like since he got COVID and like he like praised,
Basically said it was okay.
yeah, and he was like he's praising this like one pill that he has shares in, but like the thing is too is that it didn't cure his COVID-19, but also it's also been recorded that they used research on aborted babies, like
Oh
tissue.
yeah, there's fetal cells in the medicine. But not only that, Trump also has the best medical care in the United States because he is the president. So by him saying that COVID's not a big deal and it's not like much of something to like worry about, that you can still live your life, well, that's him on the privilege that he has and the access and care that he can get like from all these like medical practitioners and stuff like that, where like other people barely can't even go to the doctor in general, let alone for being like sick with COVID.
All right, and my next question is, why do you think somebody wouldn't vote? This might be somebody you know who's this refuses.
Pure ignorance. Pure ignorance. Miseducation.
I agree with that, but also I know that some people do understand the logistics of voting and stuff. I actually was like watching some like Netflix series about the right to vote, and like also there's this other series called Adam Ruins Everything, and like it does explain that point of view in terms like they don't think that their vote matters. But like the thing is that all our votes matter in like accumulation. So they kind of miss that concept and stuff. And it really sucks when they say like I refuse to vote and participate, when in reality like you're doing more harm than good. But also I see their point of view in the sense that the electoral college ultimately at the end like decides it, and people got really mad, especially since the last election like Hillary technically won the popular vote by like how many people actually wanted her to win. But yeah, I get that, but it's kind of pure ignorance.
I'm kind of like I get it. Like, if you don't vote, you can't complain. Like, I really believe that. But at the same time, there's illegal immigrants here that can't vote. Like, my friend, she legally can't vote because technically she's not a, like, yeah,
She's on
not a
DACA.
citizen. Yeah, she's undocked. And the thing is like, she wants to vote really bad, but she thinks that, like, people who do vote, like her friends, that should be their vote for her as well. So, I mean, like, I get, like, some people can't vote, but at the same time, like, there's exceptions to the rule like that. But I don't know.
Would not vote. My ultimate like consensus conclusion.
Okay, and is everyone registered to vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yes, taking my butt to the polls November 3rd.
I'm going
Just
tomorrow.
like go to conservative city and make a vote for Biden.
I always early vote.
So much easier.
I'm gonna go on Saturday or Sunday.
And did
I'm not
y'all
ready for
vote
those vines.
in the last election?
Yes.
In
I
2018,
wasn't old enough.
in 2018, like the senator race and stuff, I voted, but I wasn't old enough. 2016.
I wasn't old enough to vote either, but well, I was, but they told me that I couldn't get my registration in time. So,
Thank you. Our next activity is going to be word association. So each group member will respond to the first thing that comes to your mind for each word. For example, when I say 2020, I think about the pandemic that we're currently in. So let's get started. Our first word is voting.
Privilege.
Necessary.
Do it.
Politics.
that's what I was going to say, politics.
Was that your next word?
Yes.
Oh.
Controversy.
Crazy.
Confusing.
The next word is polling.
Lines.
Early.
Wait.
The next word is voter rights.
You got me on that one.
Your voice.
Yeah. I would say like voting rights. I would say disadvantages.
Ballots.
Accuracy.
Democratic.
And our last word is democracy.
Constitution.
People. People. That's all I think of.
Okay, so let's continue to our second activity, which we'll be using Kahoot. Give me just 1 second.
It's going to appear really fast, but then you'll have 20 seconds to answer it.
Okay, so
What is the deadline to register to vote?
October
Oh.
3rd, right?
Yeah, it's October.
Yeah. October 3rd.
It's actually October 11th.
Registered a long time ago, so.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
Monday.
that's true.
Or no, it's today.
I thought it was
Wait,
the
in
5th.
Texas? I thought it was October 5th or the 3rd. I think.
I think it changes. It varies for each state because ours was last. I'm not supposed to answer. Sorry.
You're good. Okay. This is true or false?
Texas
True.
offers mail-in ballots.
True.
True.
Oh, go. Yay. Okay.
Oh, it was October 5th.
Okay.
Who is the Democratic presidential candidate for 2020 for the 2020 election?
Joe
Joe
Biden.
Biden.
Good job, guys.
Going from Biden.
There we go.
Who is the Republican candidate for the 2020 election?
Dotard. Trump.
Donald Duck. I'd rather Donald Duck at this point.
Nice.
Okay. Our last one.
You can register to vote online. True or false?
True. You can do that through Rock the Vote.
That's it.
All right. Thank you for participating in our 2 activities. That is all for today. And thank you for participating in this focus group. We appreciate your time and answers. We will be using this information to help motivate college students to vote in the 2020 election and future elections. Have a great evening. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Okay.